The other funds are not levied in the general fund or in their own special revenue funds. They're the revenue that generates the payment for expenses, it comes up from non-levied sources. So there's no tax that goes into that. Thank you.
Mindy, do you have an answer for Mike Brady?
Yes. For the county highway fund, 64% of the revenues out of that are going to come into that fund this year, fiscal year 24, are budgeted to be from property tax dollars. 64% for fiscal year 25. For the county bridge fund, which is property tax levy fund, 43% of the revenues going into that fund are expected to be from property tax dollars. And then for the matching tax fund, 65% of the revenues for fiscal year 25 are going to be from property tax dollars. So all of them are heavily reliant upon property tax dollars.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Dan, thank you very much for your time. Alright, moving on, we are going to item E, approve minutes of the January 29th county board proceeding. Motion by Mr. Schneider, second by Mr. Stahl. Opposed, anything, all those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? On to the invoice payment committee. So, Mr. Crawford?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sandy, would you call the roll for
Chairman
land
Crawford?
use?
Chairman Crawford?
Here.
Vice Chair Hopkins?
Here.
Goddard?
Here.
Hall?
Here.
Longfellow?
Here.
Schmidtkoff? Stahl?
Here.
Woodruff? You have a quorum.
Thank you, Sandy. We only have one item of new business on the agenda. It's, land use 2502. It's a subdivision modification, and on the, I think that you have the land use sheet on the back of it, has the three, if you vote for this, it has the three findings of fact, which is, one is a grant of a waiver to allow access by an undivided 1/2 interest will not have a negative effect on the purpose of the comprehensive plan. The second one is there's not a need for a public road at this location to access the only outbuilding. And three is the granting of the waiver to allow access via the undivided 1/2 interest is the minimum least adjustment necessary that will allow for the reasonable use of the land, as there's no other alternative for the McGinnises to obtain access. And the resolution is in the paragraph below. Basically, if you approve it with yes, it's a continued access to the 6.6 acres. Before I take questions or comments, I want to ask Jackie if she'd like to make comments on this petition.
So as Chairman Crawford stated, this is an existing lot of record. Years ago, 1992, the dwelling that was associated with the property was annexed into Washington. At that time, due to the different taxing districts, they had separated the property without approval of the zoning board of appeals. And so now we have this piece of property. They did do virtually an easement, but they do have 50% access off of the main road, but they do not have the minimum 20 feet required off of our public. So.
Thank you, Jackie. Floor is open for the committee. Even if you don't have any questions, I'll need a motion to approve. Motion.
I have a comment. We've already looked at this property in the past, and there's been nobody has said anything negative about this project, so we're all for it.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve? Motion by John, is there a second? Second by Jay. Okay, further discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are in recess.
Thank you very much. Moving on to our in-place transportation meeting, Mr. Mennel.
Yes, could we have a roll call, please?
Chairman Mennel,
Here.
Vice Chair Frail, Nelms, McGrath,
Here.
Rich Stinson, Woodrow, Mylum,
Here.
you have a quorum.
Thank you. Under new business, could I have a motion to, I have a motion to approve the minutes for January 21 meeting. Motion by Grass, second by, Nelms. Are there any questions or, corrections to the minutes? Is there any corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Now, could we have a motion for T 25-02? Get that on the floor. Motion by Graff, second by Nelms. This is to approve the purchase of 2 trucks. F-550 service truck is it's 25 years old, and this is the truck the mechanic takes out, to, when he has to go out and, service or repair the equipment. This came off the state bid. We've been looking for a couple trucks, like this for some time, but, with COVID hitting and the supply chain issues, we just haven't been able to find, ones that were equipped like we needed them. So, that's the first one. The second's F-450 is a 2012, I believe. It's got well over 200,000 miles, and we were fortunate enough to find a dealer with these 2 trucks in stock that were equipped right, that we could, within the state bid, so we want to approve the purchase of these 2 trucks there. It's budgeted, the one's been in the budget for, I don't know, quite a few years, the other one, a couple years, I think. But, any questions? All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Thank you, we're in recess.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to our consent agenda, obviously number 1 and 2 will be pulled off automatically. Is there any others? Scratch? 5. Number 5. Any others? Alright. Mr. Crawford, do you have one?
But if nobody else does, I'll make a motion to approve the remainder on the consent agenda.
Motion taken, second. Mr. Hall. All those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Alright, moving on to number 1. Motion to get this on the floor, Mr. Crawford, second by Mr. Reynolds. This just came out of committee. Is there any questions regarding this? Alright, all those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. On to number 2. Just came out of committee as well. Motion for on the floor by Mr. Milo, second by Mr. Crawford. Any questions regarding this? All those in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Okay.
So noted. Moving on to item number 5. Another motion to get to the floor, Mr. Graff, second by Mr. Hopkins. Mr. Graff, you have to hold.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have a couple of questions regarding this, and I didn't see where this was, I know it was discussed at finance, I was unable to attend finance, and I didn't see in the minutes where these questions were answered, so, just a bit of history, for those new board members. 2 budget years ago, we had $1 million put in the budget for software, accounting software for us. Auditor Grimm at the time indicated that we weren't gonna proceed with that, so it was removed from the budget. So we still have not bought new software, accounting software that we had talked about for several years. My question for Mindy on this is, this purchase we're approving tonight or discussing tonight to approve, will this software work with a new accounting software package that we're going to purchase, I assume sometime?
Yes, it will. That was one of the specific requirements I had in the, scope of work that I asked for, that it would, for sure, I think, John, I thought you brought this up maybe back in November, that whatever software we chose would need to work with our current system and need to be able to work with any future system, and this one will.
So it'll work with our current system as well?
Yes, and they have experience using an IPFL.
Okay. The other question that I had, and I noticed this wasn't the low bid, are we covered by not going with the lowest bid, or is it, am I reading this wrong? Is it the low bid? I guess I'm confused on that.
That is correct. It is not the lowest bid software, however, it is the best software. So, I had a committee, and I'll just go through it quickly. I had a committee that included Mike Delury, Janet Johnson representing the health department, Teresa Melvin, representing, payroll, Caleb Zobrist representing just a typical user with a little bit of finance background, Kelly Jonick, our budget director, myself, and I did have Mike Harris there to sit through a demonstration. And collectively, the group felt that this particular software gave us the most user-friendly, version that we had available to us. And actually, one of the things that it does, speaking about the accounting system, is that it really is gonna help our managers bridge the gap between the, current accounting system, which they find to be kind of cumbersome and not super user-friendly. This is going to bring in data that they will be able to use this daily and get just basic financial information, revenues, expenses, how they're doing to budget, and they're gonna be able to use this every day to answer a lot of those questions that our accounting system is just too difficult to use on a regular basis for a casual user.
Okay. And my last question, Mr. Chairman, the time frame on this, the estimated time to complete was 4 to 6 months. I'm assuming that's based on a March 1st start date. Is that going to make, are we going to be available to use this software for this upcoming budget, or is that not going to happen?
Are you asking Brett or me?
I'm asking you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be able to use it, we think, this year. We may have to keep out the personnel portion because it's complicated in getting that up and running, but, I have worked with my colleagues to get that contract ready to go. Thank you very much for that. And I've worked with the vendor just so that we're ready to pull the trigger tomorrow and, get it moving as soon as it's approved by you guys.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Crawford?
I just wanted to assure Nick that, a lot of us who ask a lot of questions on one, and my fellow seatmate here, ask a ton of questions, and Mindy hit everyone out of the park. So we did drill down, we spent a lot of time asking questions, Mike and Nick, especially Mindy.
There's actually a great chance with this program, if we're able to bridge it, that we might not need that new accounting software as well for this, so that $1 million might be saved across the board. So, Mr. Sim?
How much is he bid at, I haven't seen dollars anymore?
I can give you the exact amount. We did budget, $100,000 for fiscal year 25 for this project, $50,000 for that upfront cost of the software and the implementation, and then $50,000 for the annual license fee. This budget software came in under that budget, and exactly, I have it in my papers. We have the implementation cost is going to be $49,923, and then the annual fee for fiscal year 25 is $48,242.
Any other questions? Alright, all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Alright. Moving on with no unfinished business, any new business? And everybody has seen the bills on a weekly basis here, so we're just going to go not gonna be any action after these. However, I would like to just take a quick second as well to say, we had a couple of wins on the county board for some members here over the past month. Mr. Hopkins had the opening of his business, the Neon Bison, over in Peoria, and so congratulations for that, sir. And Mr. Schneider was awarded a 40 liters under 40 award as well. So we've got two good things happening here. So. If there's nothing else, then we're.
Mr. Chairman, to make a motion to move into executive session, 5 ILCS 122C11, pending litigation.
Is there a second? Mr. Harris, all those in favor, signify by aye. Opposed?
I don't wanna interrupt, I'm sorry, but with your permission, Matt.
Yeah.
If it's okay with the board, I guess I would suggest maybe we do the collective bargaining executive session, it's on the agenda first, in the interest of billable hours, I think Mr. Buck. And get on his way.
Mr. Chairman, I would withdraw my motion if the second will agree, and I would substitute the motion for 120C4, or 2, excuse me, collective bargaining or salary. And I will mention that I just got back from UCCI and they did a whole board training, and they just covered this area that if you've got somebody with billable hours, get them out of that meeting as fast as you can. So thank you, my colleague.